Hey, this is Mark Joyner, and I'm in a village called Birayoyo in the Philippines. And I thought I'd take this as a good opportunity to talk about what we're going to be doing inside ConstructZero.org. Now, I'm doing it in the context of what's happening in this village here because I'm hoping that villages like this will be one of the primary beneficiaries of the technologies that we're going to be researching. So let me talk a little bit about that. When people hear about philanthropic organizations, they think of charities and things of that nature. And I think it's really important to distinguish what we're doing from that type of work. If you come out and you donate things to people, it's a temporary aid to a larger problem, but it doesn't actually resolve the heart of the problem. So I've always been a big believer in self-reliance. I think that individuals need to take care of themselves. That's a base foundational thing that we all have to do. It doesn't matter what someone else tells you. If you're not willing to take care of yourself, well, then what can you do? So let's start with that context. Do we tell folks in a village like this, where they don't have any actual running water outside of a small stream, they don't have any electricity, they don't have medical services, they don't have most of the services that you probably have access to as you watch this? So what do we tell them? Just help themselves? So someone like me, who's a big strong believer in self-reliance, we just say, well, it's their own problem. They made that, why don't they just solve it themselves? Well, we can say that, and we have to take that in the right context of understanding what it is that they're actually going through. If you were in this situation and you had the educational level that they did and you were in the same situation that they were, you may not find it as easy to pull yourself out of this situation as you may think. So for example, what if you wanted to just get up and leave? If you wanted to go out to, say, a larger city where there are better opportunities. Well, you could do that, but if the work isn't there for you, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to make your way. A lot of the people here in the Philippines are making their money through selling goods and services on the street, and a lot of these are illegal businesses. And then they've got corrupt police officers who will shake them down for that. So they start to become entrepreneurial, but then they start to lose hope. So what does one do? Well, I think that what has to happen is we have to create technologies that provide for the basic human needs of people, that will allow us to decentralize the power that is largely centralized throughout the world. For example, if you want to tap into the water system right now, there is a centralized system in most countries that will provide very, very good clean water. Well, what if we were to develop technologies that would allow, on a decentralized level, on a very, very small micro level, for villages like this to provide their own clean water, to provide their own electricity? And going out even further, what about providing their own internet access that's outside of the connected grid? Now, some of these potential technologies may sound rather space age and futuristic, but there are some who believe that the base technological requirements for these things are here right now, and it's just a matter of organizing people properly so that we can provide these technologies. So what our research centers are going to do is we are going to develop these very specific technological solutions and then put them out in a more or less open source fashion under what I'm calling the World Heritage Technology Foundation. And what this will mean is we'll own the patents for these things, but we'll allow anyone in the world to create these devices and profit on them and keep all of the royalty, all of the profit. We won't get paid for it at all. What will these technologies be? We're talking about small micro devices that, for example, could provide clean water. So now I'm not talking about short temporary solutions. There are some temporary solutions that people are distributing now for water that will provide water for one individual for maybe a year. That's not a bad start, but again, it's a temporary solution. Once that's gone, we've got something there that was consumable that has to be thrown away. What if we could create a device that would last for 50 or 100 years, and what if you could get the manufacturing cost down so low that it would only cost maybe $4 or $5 US or even lower than that? And what if the things that you needed to make this device were so common that anyone could download the plans to build this and then start to create their own cottage industry based on the creation of these devices? What would happen?